Bitcoin is testing its last 50% area that I have drawn on this chart. We're going to cover Ethereum, total market cap 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to give you some altcoins that I'm looking at for some very, very steep discounts that are finally starting to show some weakness. I'm not going to cover any cryptocurrency specifically today because anything I do is going to look like crap, but I'm going to give you a market overview because I haven't done one of these videos in a while, and I think right now it's a really good time to step back and have a look at the market because things were getting a bit exciting the last week or two. Let's start off with Bitcoin and have a look. So if you know me, I'm a big fan of the 50% tool. Again, big shout out to Michael and Jason Bazzino who talk about this tool a lot, the 50% mark. We saw a clear cut right through the 50%. So if I zoom right in, we'll have a look and you will see that we broke the 50% mark pretty cleanly at 42.5K. And we broke the trend. We found a bit of support on it, but ultimately we did break it, found resistance at it, and now we are pretty much a clean cut right straight to the 50% at 40K, call it, $40,053 to be exact, and that is the next area of support. So we'll see if we can get a bounce with that. That will coincide with some areas previously there that he was able to find support on before getting a leg up. I do think we will find some support in there, but the question is, are we going to find good long-term support where we'll be able to accumulate more before having another attempt, or are we going to start really crashing? Worst case scenario for Bitcoin, if things get really bad, this is my last area of support for the 50%. Once this breaks, I'll just delete these here so you can have a look. Once this breaks, the next areas will be the lows that it put in about February, and worst case, the 24th of January. I do not want to see Bitcoin go there. Look, I don't want to call it. No one can, of course. I'd be surprised if Bitcoin can break these levels here. Somewhere around there is where I would say Bitcoin would be bottoming out, which is about 36.5K. It's not to say it can't, it can of course, but you have to know that these were big volume days and there seems to be a lot of support happening again at the 24th of January and of course February 24th before getting higher highs and going on this nice rally for the last 7 days before crashing and burning. So we have to wait, see where the area of support is and just give it some more time to cook in the oven. There's nothing wrong with cryptocurrency getting hit at the moment. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. And it's going to be interesting to see where Bitcoin finds support in the next coming days. But how could we predict this? How could we tell that Bitcoin was going to go down? For me, two main areas that I was looking at. I wasn't sure. They don't want to say anything because I just honestly wasn't sure at the time. But looking at it, I probably should have trusted my instincts a little bit more. The first was that, well, we obviously had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days up in a row, which is not very good for Bitcoin. There were a lot of also pumping up. I actually snagged a few profits as well from altcoins during this time period, but you could just see that the momentum wasn't there after that's 27th of March. We still got very high volume on the 28th of March, but look at the spread. It was very narrow. And then we get another low volume day on the 29th. We get a sell-off and not enough to support the market. We get the hit. We get another day where we tried to collect it and tried to push the price up even more, but of course we couldn't hold up to it, and now we're back off to a downtrend until we can break that area. Second reason is that I'm actually reading a book by W.D. Gann, and it is called The Truth of Stock Tape. This one comes very highly recommended, so I bought the original one, which set me back about $130, but I really wanted to read the original one, and one of the things he talks about early on is he says that the strongest shares at the time are the ones that will break the first because they will show you the market tendency. They will show you that there's weakness in the market before anything else. And what was the strongest crypto out of all cryptos? More stronger than Bitcoin, more stronger than Ethereum. What was it? I'll give you a second to think about it. It was Luna. Luna was the strongest crypto by far. Everything else was lagging way behind Luna. And I really want some Luna really badly. So when January came in, you had, the 24th dump, and then of course 30th, we put the low in for Luna. And then this was just beating everything. February 24th was a major scale. A lot of cryptos bottomed out, but Luna was actually putting in very good gains and managed to get to its all-time high very quickly on the 10th of March. A lot of altcoins weren't even really moving much around that time, or they were just starting to move. Luna was so far ahead of the pack, and I made videos saying, my God, Luna's doing so well. I was actually talking about it when I started breaking around these highs and saying, this is a really good time to go into Luna because it's pretty clear it wants to get to the all-time high. Once we got to the all-time high, which is somewhere around here, we can see it broke down. Now, this is when the market was getting very heated up, when Luna started to calm down. This area here was when the market was going crazy from about 10th, 12th of March, for about, call it about a week and a half or so. And that's when a lot of alts were running, but Luna wasn't doing anything. And what do you see? You see low volume. You see low volume. Luna was crushing it. Of course, any crypto that gets to an all-time high always has a tough time pushing past it. You can see the volume just die right off. It manages to look a little bit strong actually and puts a new all-time high on some decent volume for a few days before ultimately crashing down. And this is when I knew that things were going to get bad, because for Luna to show weakness, it meant that the overall market was weak. To me anyway, and like I said, it was just a hunch at the time. I wasn't really sure, but it was. Put this book back. And Luna is on a downtrend as well. So I know I'm kind of maybe going all over the place, but I would love to get some Luna. Where would I like to get Luna at? Well, we've got the next 50% coming out, which is at $81.50. If it can, it will look strong there, but I do anticipate Luna to eventually, I don't know when, but I don't see that it's going to be able to hold these levels up. I don't see how it in it. I'll be happily proven wrong, but I just don't see it in it. I think we'll probably be getting to the 50% here, which is at $61.35. That would be this yellow solid area here. And what I like about it is, say you do scoop it up, well, you get to a new all-time high. That's a solid 87% increase from where it is at the moment. You can stake your Luna. They've got some pretty good things. That ecosystem has a lot of great things happening at the moment. If you want to get really, really greedy with your entry in Luna, you can actually probably even wait longer. If you are very patient or greedy, depending on how you want to look at it, you could probably even get it maybe at this area here. That would be somewhere around the $50 to $60 mark. This was a big fear time, like I mentioned, in January and early February or mid-February. And if you can get snag Luna up this price, well, now instead of you looking at a 90% profit, you're probably looking at about 130% increase with Luna. And I'm pretty sure we all would agree, Luna's probably going to make another run for it again at some point, because that ecosystem is very vibrant. It's very, very good. And they keep pumping more Bitcoin to beef up their ecosystem and make it look more reliable and more trustworthy. Let's have a look at Ethereum. This one's looking a bit more stronger than Bitcoin at the moment. But of course, like I said, everything is getting hit at the moment. 50% coming at $2,869. And you can see we are on our way right now to test it. This is a very, very crucial level for Ethereum to hold as well. I do prefer Ethereum over Bitcoin. Generally speaking, it just does better returns in general. And you can see very similar 24th of January low, got a higher low in February 24th, and then March, which we had a bit of a down period as well before ultimately going up. ETH holding up incredibly well, and this is the beauty of holding Ethereum, because when the market turns against you, ETH will not hurt you as much, and you can still get very, very good returns with ETH. If you had, say, 60, 80 grand, you could easily get, a 50, 60% increase in your earnings from that. So 50 grand, you get 25 grand back from, I wouldn't say risk-free, but you get what I'm getting at in terms of people not just getting too greedy with their gains and wanting to get for 50x, 60x with massive amounts of money. That's not the way I approach making wealth. The way I approach making wealth is looking for really good blue chip cryptos, getting anywhere between 50 to 200% consistently and accumulating your wealth very, very fast that way. If we have a look at total market cap 1, you can see downtrend. This includes all cryptocurrencies. So you can see steep downtrend happening. We'll probably find some support coming in at these areas here. So we'll see where it goes exactly. But at the moment, it probably looks like we want to get to some support, and we have to find where that base is for the next leg up. If this is the next base, that's fine. If we start going to these areas, that's going to look more weaker, and we'll just need more time to really accumulate and get the next bull run going. It's a great position to set up your longs. So if you're going long in certain positions, it's a great time to start looking at that and wait for another base to start forming. Total market cap 2, which includes all cryptocurrencies except for Bitcoin. So you can see very similar as well, just a clean cut downtrend at the moment. Very similar. Where we're going to find support, we're going to find support here or at the lows. So somewhere here or here, we will have to have a look at. Total market cap 3, which includes all cryptocurrencies except for Bitcoin, Ethereum. Very, very similar thing. What am I going to say? Depends where we find support. Do we find support here? Somewhere in the lows. Of course, Bitcoin dominance, you can see is ticking up 1.13% up. So you can see that is starting to look like Bitcoin wants to test these 50%. So all signs are pointing to the odds slowing down for the time being, and probably another time, like I said, to just look into your alts and see what you want to buy, what you want to unload, things like that. So let's have a look at some other altcoins. I know I just showed you Luna, but let's just have a look at AVAX. This is one that I was really talking about that I really like. I still really do love this coin a lot. I think it has a great ecosystem and is a very, very, I would call it a blue chip crypto. It's a shame it hasn't been able to get to its all-time high. I really thought it was going to get there. It looks like it might take a little bit longer, but like I said, I have no doubt about it that AVAX will be able to get very, very close to its all-time high, maybe put on an all-time high, but it just needs more time, unfortunately, to accumulate. It's been accumulating for a while, since basically end of January, when we've just been basically through this stage. What I like about AVAX is that you can pretty much say, this is one of those cryptos that are not going to go against you too hard. So from where it is at the moment, it can go down 14%, worst case, maybe 30%. Of course, anything's possible. You could start going to these areas here, but it depends. You have to take it day by day, but I'm sure we've got these levels of support to play out, and then we've got this area to play out too. So it's a very safe crypto to buy when you start looking at things getting cheaper. When things are getting hit down and the overall cryptocurrency space is getting down, and now's not the time to buying SafeMoon and I don't even know, whatever meme coin and crap coins out there. That's not the time to do it. The time to do is good to get nice, good blue chip cryptos, get your 50, 60, 70, 80%. Maybe you go up 15 to 20%, and then you say, you know what, I'm going to take my 20%, the market's moving up, I'll put it in more risky assets because everything's up and I'll probably make a better return. And then you make a 10%, 15% in like a week or two, take it out, move it out into something another risky as well. Things are looking bad, you maybe take a 10% hit. Okay, no worries, I'm just going to wait for the market to cool off, go into blue chip cryptos. You should be, position management your cryptos always depending on the market conditions. And that's why some people say, oh, technical analysis, you said one thing, but said another thing. But you have to change your positions depending on the market conditions. Sometimes things are bullish, sometimes things are bearish. Sometimes we're in a downtrend, sometimes we're in an uptrend. So move your coins accordingly so you can be able to see how you want it. What's your risk tolerance? What's your rewards? What's profit to you? How much do you want to make? When do you want to make it? Keep it reasonable. Any mistakes you make, you will learn from it. Things like that. Another really good coin, KuCoin. This one's actually one that doesn't get talked about a lot, but this is another one of those blue chip cryptos that has been holding up very, very well. If you can scoop it up for about 25% cheaper at $14, you'll be looking at a fantastic return of about 80%. So again, put down 60 grand, 80 grand, 50 grand, whatever you have. I know that might seem like a lot of money to some people, but some people have a lot of wealth, and if I had a big position like that, I'd be going for something like this, where you could say, you know what, I turn this 50 grand into 30, 40 grand. And it's like I said, in the grand scheme of cryptocurrency things, it's relatively low risk. MATIC, this one's broken down really, really badly. And this is a really crypto that has struggled quite a bit, but it is the king of the layer 2 in terms of any layer 2 really, but definitely on the Ethereum network, it is definitely the gold standard, but it has taken a huge hit, struggled at the 50%, and wasn't able to find support. This is another one that's been down for quite some time, since basically 24th of Jan, got hit really hard and tried to push up before breaking down and finding some support again at that January level at the moment. So looking pretty weak. The good thing about it is your risk to reward ratio. So how much lower can it get? Because we've already finding support. You have to remember, guys, 24th of Jan and 24th of February, what did we see in the Bitcoin chart? They were very, very, very dark days. And if you remember those days and you were in crypto, you knew how bad. Russian-Ukraine invasion day, huge sell-off, massive fear. 24th, massive dump. March, actually a bit of a dump happened, but the alts they didn't move. So we're finding support at this level. So you have to tell yourself, okay, what's my downside? Well, my downside is I could probably go to, say, another 8% down, maybe worst case 20% down. So that would be these areas of support, maybe here-ish. Of course, like I said, it's finding support at the moment now. So you might tell yourself, okay, I can risk maybe 20, 30% on this trade, and my up is maybe, say I want to get 50%, so 30%, so 1 for 1. Maybe I want to go a little bit higher, 55%, and now maybe I want to start going 85%, go near the all-time high, that's 100%. That's the way I would look at the market, but you're going to have to wait for quite some time for things to play out and not get too much anxiety during the downtrend. These are fantastic opportunities to buy and go long in my opinion. But you need to buy the right ones. NIA, this is another one that was going off. This was one of the best blue chip cryptos as well in terms of just doing gains while everything else was moving sideways. Put in the all-time high or near the all-time high. And what did I say before? Any crypto that puts in new all-time highs or is getting new to an all-time high or matching the all-time high, I always sell anywhere between 50 to 75% of my position instantly, sometimes 100%, because I know how hard it is and how many sell orders are right here. There's so many sell orders, everyone taking profit. You need to take your chance, take your profits, move on. What am I looking at for NIA? 50%, early 50% at $13. Not good enough for me in terms of a price, but it'd be interesting to see how it reacts. Of course, 50% coming in at $11.07, call it, and that would be a nice level to buy it at. But again, I want it a little bit more cheaper, but it has done fantastic things. It has a fantastic ecosystem as well, and they're going to be every layer one's best friend with its fundamentals. So I really like it. What I would love to get, I would love to get around that $7.20 mark, because that is a really nice area in terms of what would happen with this crypto. That would be right there. If we have a look at, say, Atom, this is another cryptocurrency that's been holding up incredibly well. This is one of those coins that hold up incredibly well, but doesn't give you the best gains for some reason. For as good as the fundamentals as this coin is, it just struggles to put in a new all-time high. So we've got 60% from where it currently is roughly. And well, we've broken up 50%, so $26.32. Next areas of support I'd be looking at would be these areas here, somewhere around that fear. And once again, it comes in December and February, so that would be somewhere in this area around the $22 mark. Once you start getting to that price, then your returns can actually start getting around 80, 90% again. And Atom is one of the safe choices. I do like Atom a lot because it does hold up incredibly well. You can just see how long we've been spending above its 50%. And like I said, January, February, these were big fearful months, and Atom has held up incredibly well during that time. It wouldn't surprise me if it holds up once again. And lastly, we have Binance, looking a little bit more weaker than the other ones, but this is one of the best cryptocurrencies in the world because of the biggest exchange. It does fantastic. Rejection at the 50%, no surprise there. And then of course, now we're on the downtrend, Like I said, you're probably hearing me repeat myself at this point. January low, February low, where are we going to find support? Probably somewhere there. And then that gets us to about $365. And if I get my ruler, go up to near the top, that's about a 75% increase with Binance. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Binance gets to its all-time high, puts it in a new all-time high. It's the biggest exchange in the world, people. It's not going anywhere. Really good, safe, good 80 to 100% returns for you should you have a big bag. If you don't have a big bag, keep saving up. Don't go for the alts. Wait for the confirmation. Get in now. Always have stop losses in place, ready to take your profits. Be satisfied with your profits because the market can turn on you any minute. I hope this video helped and gave you some knowledge and insight on it. It's just an honest take on it. So at the moment, things aren't looking good. Not the worst I've seen, but we have to take it day by day and we have to see where Bitcoin finds its next areas of support. But until then, everyone, stay safe out there and I will catch you in the next video.